After months of battling doubt and witnessing naysayers and critics take advantage of every chance, Caitlin Clark finally reminded everyone why she is that girl. In a performance that silenced anybody who ever wondered if this team and this player were better without their superstar. The Indiana Fever not only defeated the Atlanta Dream Friday night, but they dominated the 99-82. Here, it is now a final 99-82. The third quarter saw 29 points, and the fourth quarter saw 30 points. The season's second half and fourth quarter may have been the greatest of the year. Examine these benchmarks. Tonight, 29 bench points. Additionally, they managed to withstand a flurry of attacks from Jordan, Canada, who scored 26 points in the first half. The critics claimed that without Clark, the Fever was better. She was ball dominant, they said. When she wasn't on the floor, they said the team had additional weaponry. Were they now then? Because what we saw on Friday night was a total breakdown of that story. It all began when Clark demonstrated that she could control the game without controlling the scoreboard. It has been a bumpy trip for both Clark, who has had to battle several injuries, and Indiana. However, I believe Sesset's fight on the floor was her most inspiring moment. She's obviously not quite at her best. She's still trying to get back. She attacked, but she hasn't yet found her three ball. She threw her head down and went to the hoop, using the physicality against the defenders. Her playmaking, which is undoubtedly another brilliant element of her game, was made possible by that. After things began to make sense, the Fever, let's discuss what actually took place here. In a masterclass effort, Sophie Cunningham scored 16 points and pulled down 10 rebounds after coming off the bench like a woman possessed. Here's the lovely part, though. Cunningham wasn't playing despite Clark. Cunningham was playing as a result of Clark. You could sense the electrifying chemistry between these two in each of their possessions. People, this may have been the best Sophie Cunningham performance for the Indiana Fever that she has ever had. When she struck, we were ahead in that game before those game-ending threes against the Minnesota Lynx. A nail in the coffin, really. Fantastic. However, we lost the third quarter. After falling behind 5,247 points in the third quarter, Sophie Cunningham's massive three helped us rally and win. The critics said that the Fever were more dangerous without Kane Clark for weeks. Carolyn Peake of ESPN really stated on TV that Indiana is more dangerous when Clark isn't playing. Do you think that's possible? The boldness. They genuinely made an effort to persuade us that the WNBA's greatest rookie, the player who smashed attendance records, and the lady who single-handedly kept the league relevant, was somehow impeding her team's progress. However, retaliation was served cold on Friday night. I said they needed Caitlin Clark, didn't I? I mean, guys, hurry up. You see, this is the reason you don't watch ESPN. Idiots like Caroline Peake should be charged and imprisoned for their remarks that they are more dangerous without Caitlin Clark. That is among the most stupid remarks. Clark ended with 9 and 12 points. Helps. However, those figures don't accurately depict the situation. She struggled from three-point range and was only 5 of 17 from the field, but she had an impact on every possession. She was the commander, the orchestrator, and the one who improved everyone in her vicinity. Additionally, Clark's leadership and court vision converted a close game into a blowout when the team needed it most behind by 3 points in the third quarter. Therefore, they were able to neutralize Caitlin Clark in a large degree, and I believe that their manhandling of Stephanie White was almost a problem. Caitlin Clark was being mistreated by them. Early on in the match, as if they were holding her with two hands, they seemed completely engrossed and were grabbing her, and we don't really care situation. That was their aim, as if they were. They were there with the intention of mauling Caitlin Clark. They had no intention of doing anything but M, and they had no M. Subscribe if you're enjoying it. Are you curious as to what made this game so exquisite? Like a crazed woman, Sophie Cunningham emerged off the bench. Oh my goodness, Cunningham, Sophie. The Atlanta Dream was completely destroyed by this woman as soon as she stepped off the bench. Sophie Cunningham was hitting all of her three-point attempts when it counted, making 4 or 5 of them.